So, before we start this video, I just wanted to say a big massive thank you to everyone who supported my last video, Reasons to be Optimistic About Being a Furry. Like, seriously, I super appreciate all the love and support people have thrown my way, and honestly, the fact that we managed to reach, I think it was like 1.3k views, like, it's so blowing my mind, and I really appreciate it. You've made this Wolves here, and I just wanted to get that out of the way before we start. So, I also did a community poll, I think last week, and the results say that you guys fancied some more like furry community videos, and that's what I did. I started up a little bit of research, and here are some interesting things that I didn't know about the furry community. I hope you enjoy the video. Did you know that in the last couple of years, there has been 58 FurCons globally with an attendance above 100? And that means we have 2 in South America, we have 5 in Asia and Oceania, we have 11 in Europe, and in North America there are 40, with I think it's 34 of these FurCons are in America, meaning I think I did the math, it was like 58% of all FurCons are actually in America, which is a little bit nuts. But the one thing I wanted to draw on here is the fact that when I started joining the furry community, I didn't even realize there was a FurCon in Scotland with ScotiaCon. I just think it's amazing. I love it, and I love the fact that what started off as I think the first ever FurCon had about 64 or 65. It was in the 60s, 60s attendance number, and now there are 58 with above the attendance of 100, with some of these going up to 14,000. How insane is that? And more importantly, majority of these FurCons do raise money for charity. And I think this is such a positive thing because as I said in my last video, with the numbers of people attending these FurCons increasing, it means that perhaps we can raise even more money for charity. And I think if we keep going like that, I think it'd be absolutely incredible and we could make a difference just by turning up to a FurCon. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Speaking of groups of furries, did you know that according to Wikifur, there are over 125 recognised furry YouTubers? I'm looking at this list and my name's not in it, so I've made it my own personal goal to see if I can make this list. So, personal grudges and gripes aside, I just want to say that's absolutely amazing, and the fact that you've got all these voices showing perhaps people who are new to the furry community and wondering what we do and what kind of stuff they can do if they want to join in. It's absolutely incredible, and I think it's great. And I'm sure quite a few people who have joined the community have done it through this method nowadays. But it's not just YouTube, because over on Twitch, although I couldn't find the exact numbers of how many furries there are streaming, I did notice that the largest list I could find was from Wild Abandon, which had over 900 members. And I think it's safe to say that would mean that the furry content creators on Twitch are in the thousands. So just like YouTube, I think it's great that people are able to go into these channels and actually be able to chat straight away to all these furries, and perhaps you can get all these different voices and different quirks that these individuals add to the community. And I think that's wonderful, because I think sometimes it's hard, particularly if you like a group, or if you want to learn more about a group and all you learn is the articles and news stuff, which you don't actually get to meet and talk to the people the people themselves. So I think it's wonderful that you can go onto Twitch and YouTube and really interact with quite a lot of furries, and I thought that was quite interesting. Did you know that the term furry fandom actually dates back to 1983 with a fan-made magazine that was heavily inspired by Fritz the Cat? A very, very adult animation back in the day. And with this in mind, as of next year, it would suggest that the term furry fandom will be 40 years old. And to put this into perspective, that would mean that the term furry fandom is 10 years older than the internet. It's so insane. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. Because what started off as a comic and stuff about maybe sex and violence has turned into something that's so much more than that. And it's turned into a community, and it's turned into everyone's, it's not just about sex and violence, because we've got a lot of furries that are demisexual and asexual also included. And it always makes me think whether or not these individuals who started this community, whether or not in their wildest imaginations thought that we'd have dating and social apps like Howler and Bark. Because I just think it's insane. We've gone so far. And with the technology, who knows? Who knows what the community will grow into next? And I thought that was pretty cool. According to Fur Science, which is a furry kind of research website, the top 5 things that furries value more than anything else is conventions, internet groups, acceptance, community, and I'll let you guess what number 1 is. That's right, art. Which might be a surprise to some people, and it might be a completely not surprise to quite a few people. But I thought this was super interesting. With kind of 3rd to 5th, they all kind of had similar ones. Similar scores, because you had to rate them out of 7. But the one thing I thought was the most interesting part of this is that out of the list of 14 things that the furries were given to rank, the second lowest ranked one is sex. And given the reputations of furries, I actually think this is really interesting because it does suggest that furries do not value sex whatsoever. And the even funnier part is the fact that the only thing sex beat was drama. So, given that sometimes the furry fandom is kind of suggested to be they're obsessed with drama and sex, this research study would actually suggest the opposite and suggest that they don't value that kind of stuff. And weirdly, I actually think this would be a reason to be optimistic, because people don't want this drama, people don't want all that stuff, they just want to enjoy being a furry. So those are a few things that I didn't know about the furry community. Is there any that you guys didn't know? Is there any that you guys know that you want to tell me? Please pop them down in the comment section. I would love to see what you guys come up with. And remember, if you guys fancy talking to me live, I am over on Twitch, where I've been doing DBD, I've been playing Spyro, I've been playing Super Animal. I kind of rotate these kind of things, but that's something you guys want to talk to me, I would love to see you guys. Alternatively, if you guys have got a Fursona, pop them over on my Twitter. I love seeing Fursonas, and I am considering maybe doing a video in the near future where I rank people's Fursonas based on, last time we did, what family film character role I think they would be. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, please pop them over on my Twitter. I would love to hear all about that. But more importantly, guys, remember that you matter yesterday, you matter today, and you matter tomorrow. And I love every single one of you. Mwah!